if you want to learn very fast, then you have to learn from others' mistake, right? So what are some of the mistakes that you want to learn from? These are some of the refusal letters to the UK, right? So I intentionally print them out for a reference purpose. I think this is to home office, you see. So I'll hide for security reasons. I want to hide some of the information. Now, if you are trying to apply for a visitor visa to the UK, here are some of the mistakes that you have to avoid doing in order to increase the chances of getting your visa approval. Now, so I'll go through the refusal letter step by step for you to have a look at. So you may subscribe to the channel if it does something, because hence we'll be uploading some of the refusal letter for all of us to learn and avoid those petty mistakes that got our visas denied. Now, this particular applicant is applying for a visitor visa to the UK, right? So here's the case. Your application for a visit visa to the United Kingdom has been refused. What this means for you. Any future UK visa application you make will be considered on their individual merits, right? So, okay. However, you are likely to be refused unless the circumstances of your application change. So people make a mistake. They will apply this today, tomorrow they are going to tell a different story. If that is the case, you are not likely to get your visa approved unless you back it up with a lot of evidence, and then we will discuss that in the subsequent videos. So in relation to this decision, there is no right of appeal or right to administrative review. What are these things? These are some of the refusal letters. When you have the refusal letters, you can appeal, right? So, and then we have a change of mind based on the documents that you provide to the consular. The reasons for this decision are set out on the next page. So I'm going to share the next page. So let's go and have a look at the next page. Okay, so this is the refusal, you can see, right? So yeah, I'm seeing the reason for the refusal. So we are going to go through this reason step by step. So we are learning from someone's mistake, right? So I'll be reading a lot of these refusals on this platform. So if that is what you want, you may consider subscribing to the channel for more lessons. So let's go one by one. You have applied for a visa to visit the UK. In deciding whether you meet the requirements of Appendix V, well, if you don't know what Appendix V means here, is that, you see, the simplest example I normally use here is the how do you call it? The commandments. There are 10 commandments in the Bible, right? So according to the Christian religion, so those are the commandments that Christians also obey. So when it comes to the visa application, there are commandments in every type of visa application. Do you get it? So that is how the system works now. So according to the visitor visa, this is the Appendix V. Is that okay? So your application must meet those commandments under the Appendix V. What does it mean? Of the immigration rules for visitors. So there's a website there's a link that you can check the appendix of the under the visitor visa. So I have considered, this is the consular, right? So I have considered your application, your immigration history. So the consular is considered two things: your application one, and then the immigration what? History. Now, here's the decision. So I have refused. So I like that word. It's a kind of an authority that has been given to the consular to say that I have refused. Yes, see, he or she is the one making the decision here. So I have refused your application for a visit visa because I am not satisfied that you meet the requirement of paragraphs V 4.2. That is the appendix of V, right? So paragraph V 4.2 to V 4.6. This is the most of the general appendix, or the requirement or the rules that they measure the visitor visa against under the UK visa application process, right? Appendix V of the immigration rules for visitors, because let's pay attention. So if you can write, you can write. If you cannot write, you can save the video for, or you can always go back to check your or align them against your circumstances. Now, because let's look at it, because you state you are traveling to the UK for 17 days for tourism. You see, I'll add my personal experience to this. So if you are going for a tourism, there's never and never apply for tourism visa more than 10 days, especially if you are a first-time traveler, right? So how are you going to stay in somewhere for 17 good days? 17. That is too much. The best you can go is to go on between 7 to 10 days. Is that okay? That is okay. Even if you are likely, then they can even extend that to you, right? So they will extend that for you in your application. So 17 days. So I note that your previous application, it means that this particular applicant has already applied for an application to the UK before. Your previous application to visit the UK was refused in the year 2023. If those of you think that UK did, or the embassy don't keep a records, you have to be very careful when it comes to your application, right? So I have noted the content, right? So that is in the previous application. So while treating this application independently, there's nothing between the first application and the second application, but meanwhile they are going to gather your information from the previous one. If you say in the first application that you are a male, here you are saying you are a female. You understand what I'm trying to say? So I have been mindful of the information contained in your earlier application. Did you hear that? The person is mindful about the previous application that you did. You state you are self-employed. This applicant is a self-employed in a 135,000 Ghana city. So he is from Ghana. So annually, that is the annually. So on the, let's do the calculation. Annually we have 12 months. 12 months in a year, right? So 12 months. He says that he earned 135,000 divided by 12, which means 135,000. Well, I don't know the kind of business the person does. So which means on a monthly basis, so I divide this one by 12. In a monthly basis, the person earned 11,250 Ghana cedi on every month. 11,250 Ghana cedis. Is that okay? So let's go. And have an additional income. So it means that you have an additional income. I love reading UK refuses letter because they break everything down for you to see where you are getting wrong, right? So in support of your circumstances, you have provided a personal bank, right? So I don't want to mention the bank name here. The bank statement for account ending in, let's say, 7179. They normally state the last four numbers of your account number. However, I note your address on the personal bank statement you have provided does not match your address as stated in your visa application form. Did you hear that? Now, here is the key. Now, the person has provided a bank statement that has address A. Let's say you are living in this town here, town A here, and then when you are filling out the form, then you wrote a different address like a town B in that address. Now, how possible? It's not possible. Maybe it might not be your fault. You see, most of us in our country, maybe you can live in one area, maybe a year later or some few months later, you move from that area to a different place. Did you get it? Now, here's a solution. From personal experience, here's a solution. So, if you want to correct that, you have to make sure that you go to the bank and then update your details. right? Go and tell them that now you are no more at this address, you move to this address. Is that okay? There's no way your address on your bank statement will be different from where you live. If there's a situation, who are you going to hold responsible? Right? So that is very, very important. So let's look at what the counselor says here. This discrepancy in your address has not been explained further in the supporting information you have provided. Maybe if you would have added a supporting document that says that, oh, you rented at this particular place here, and then later on you move to this, so this is the address you are adding up. So later you update everything in the system, and that one could have been considered. Right, so that's why sometimes you need to talk to somebody, right? So you need to share your situation with somebody. Is that okay? And then you also have to have a room for error. So I have a video on this channel. Room for error means that in case you didn't get your visa approved, what are you going to do? That is not the end of your life. So you have to make sure that you calm down, right? As a result, I am led to doubt you have provided an accurate depiction in your personal circumstances in your home country. This damaged the credibility of your application. Did you hear that? Because of the different address. It doesn't work like that. When you go to the Western land, and there's no way you live at this address and then your bank statement will be a different address. No. There's no way. So that is how they are measuring our application again. So you have to be very careful. So that's why you may consider subscribing to the channel if you want to learn more lessons like this. Now, let's look at the second part. Additionally, you state you have a dependent child. So it means that this person has a child, right? However, you have not demonstrated this further. You have not demonstrated any further consideration. You have not demonstrated any further considerable personal or family engagement in your home country, which will serve as an incentive to return to the end of your trip or at the end of your trip. The person says that he or she has a child. Right? So I remember when he was talking to me, he has a child, but you did not provide anything. You did not demonstrate any family relationship, any family ties that shows that you have a child. You stated in your application form that you have a child. If you have a child, where is the document? The visa application is all about documents. Verbal words are nothing in your visa application. You may write a cover letter, a very long cover letter. If you're unable to attach the documents that prove your statement, all that you're saying is in vain. Right? So as a result, I'm not satisfied your intention to visit the UK are genuine. Did you get that? I am also not satisfied that you have sufficient ties to your home country and that you will leave at the end of your visit. In the absence of further information, I am led to doubt your intention for visiting the UK. Are you getting where the scenario is going? So the third point here says that the factors mentioned above have not been taken in isolation but considered collectively. They damage the overall credibility of your application, leading me to doubt your intention in seeking to visit the UK for the limited period and the purpose stated. From the information on your application form, you see they always consider the information you put on your application form, right? For the information on your application form and the documents you have submitted are not satisfied that you intend to leave as in depart, LEAVE, the United Kingdom, or that you are genuinely seeking entry as a visitor. Your application is therefore refused under paragraph V 4.2 A and C of the immigration rules. Period. So we are done with this particular applicant. So in relation to this decision, there's no right of appeal or right to administrative review. So they didn't give you any option for you to choose whether you have to appeal or what you do administrative review. No, there's no option for you. This is a straightforward decision. So it means that the documents that you provided are not enough for the consular to make a decision. So this is for somebody refusal letter. What have you learned from this application? Let us know in the comment section below. Whilst in our next video, or maybe our subsequent video, I'll also talk about another refusal letter. If you want us to review the refusal letter, maybe I will leave a link or email down below. You can send us those refusal letter for a review. If you need a guideline on how to go about your visa application, we are available for that. Let us know in the comment section below. By the way, tell us what you have learned from this refusal letter in the comment section below.